And welcome to the Wax Men Show. So today we're going to be talking to you about how we hit $1 million within 3 years of being in the life insurance industry. But first, we're going to take it back a little bit of how we met and how we got introduced into infinite banking and life insurance.
Cool. Why don't you start us off?
Start us off with
what were you doing? I know you were doing real estate beforehand. Share a little bit about your journey from the restaurant to the real estate.
Yes. So from 21 to 28, I was in the restaurant business, hospitality, always taking care of people. I worked from a hostess to a bartender to a manager. Then I went back to bartending because managers don't make shit. So I went back to bartending for tips. Later on, went into working at a poker room at night. I got tired of the nightlife. And then I got introduced to real estate. I got my real estate, actually, funny story with that. My sister was getting her real estate license and she told me about it. She wasn't able to get it at the time. And I'm like, well, you know what? I'll go for it. So I went to go give it a shot.
I didn't know that.
I know. I went to give it a shot and I ended up getting my real estate license because she brought it up. And so from there, and I did real estate for 2.5 years. I sold 25 houses within my first 2 years. I was mentored by somebody who was really, really good, and I was her assistant. I was able to learn really fast from her. I even got Rookie of the Year with real estate. So I love the sales industry. I love helping people. Then I realized that with real estate, it depends on the market. So I didn't want to keep my income depending on the market. I started exploring other options. That's when the life insurance industry presented itself to me. Somebody was like, hey, you should try this for extra income. Do it part-time. And I'm like, okay, it doesn't hurt.
How much were you making in real estate at the
time? 6 figures.
Cool.
I was still in my second year. I started making 6 figures.
Wow.
But my first year, I worked for free for the first 4 or 5 months because I was just her assistant, learning everything I could. But that's how I was able to learn so fast. And so the first year I made about 50, 60 grand in real estate. And then the next year I was able to hit 6 figures. So then going back to that, I realized that with life insurance, I was kind of skeptic about it because, life insurance doesn't seem fun. But I was at the point where real estate was slowing down. So I wanted to see what else was out there. I took a leap of faith and I went to check it out. I went to a meeting that they had and I loved it because the energy, the culture. Also, I get to teach people about life insurance. Most people think it's only for whenever you die. Why not? I was still working at the poker room nighttime. I was still doing real estate during the daytime. And then I added the part-time life insurance position to my background. So then that's how I got into life insurance.
And they had trainings in the evening, right? So you would go to you would do real estate during the day and then life insurance at dinner time-ish and then go to the bar at night, work late night?
Yeah, so I would do life insurance on Tuesdays and Saturdays because those were the days that were trainings for the life insurance company. So I wouldn't work at all at the bar Tuesdays. And I would just do real estate if I had showings or clients that I would meet during the day. Then I'd go to life insurance. So I would just do a little bit of both at the same time. And then nighttime was the bar.
Cool. How'd you get introduced to life insurance?
This girl was working at the poker room that I was working at. Yeah. And she said, hey, you want to do this part-time? An extra license doesn't hurt. I was like, you're right. An extra license doesn't hurt. That's how she got me.
Huh. Yeah. And then what happened?
And then we met. I was a top producer with the life insurance company that we were at before. I was working my ass off, doing all these policies and driving around Houston, going to people's houses, presenting to them the presentation of how life insurance can benefit and help them. And then sure enough, I was the top producer that month that we went to a convention for, which was called a training for trainers. And I went up on stage for being a top producer and Josh was sitting in the crowd, just being Josh himself. I had already seen him walking around there because I was like, okay, he's kind of cute. But we never talked. I think we just knew of each other in the same building. And then, so you found me on Instagram. You followed me. You liked 2 of my pictures. And I didn't get to see it until we left the convention. So then I see it on Monday and I'm like, oh, he liked 2 of my pictures and he followed me. So he gave me the signal. You made the first move. And here I go, sending a little DM. Said, hey, what did I say?
I think you just said hi. Yeah.
Right? Okay, I think I just said hi. And then we went from there.
Cool.
And then that's how we met. We started talking through social media. I came to visit you in Miami once a month. We did a little bit of long distance. And then you fell in love with me. We got engaged. I moved out here and now we're building our business.
That is true. Cool. What was, for some people that are listening, I know real estate's super hot right now and everybody wants to be a realtor and show houses and look nice and be an investor. Why did you feel the need to switch from real estate to life insurance? And you didn't really switch until you moved out here, right? So like when we met, you were still doing all of the things at the same. You weren't working at the bar still, were you?
What was that?
No,
It was
just
just
real
real
estate
estate.
and life insurance, and you're going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. I remember like you were like eating in your car, and you were like living in the back of your grandma's house, and like figuring out all this stuff. What are some of the things that you were attracted to about like, hey, like I'm gonna go all in on life insurance versus all in on real estate?
What attracted me was when I first realized how easy it was to make that commission compared to making a commission with selling real estate. Now, it's not all about the money, but the money does pay for the trips and got me the happiness, bought me the shoes and the purse I want and everything. However, when I realized that I can make $5,000 from helping one family, just me presenting to them in their home and just doing paperwork and don't have to drive like everywhere, I was like sold. Because with real estate, it's great. You're helping people move into their families or their houses. However, there's a lot of emotions in between the buyer and the seller and the agent. And there's so many more parties involved, the inspectors, the title companies, everything else. So any little crack can break the whole deal. I've had 2 deals fall out on the day of closing. I remember I was with you once.
Oh,
We
yeah.
were in Indiana and that
Oh, yeah,
deal,
we
like
were.
we were at the closing day and it just fell through.
I remember
And
that.
just things like that happen. They're out of our control. When life insurance, there's less things that are in place. It's just you and the client and the life insurance company, and they're physical, but it's more dependent on their health rather than this is depending on their income and other stuff that come into play. So there's just I don't like to say this often because it's not, Hormozy says not to do it or think about it this way of work smarter, not harder. But that's how it felt for me, where I'm working smarter and over here, but we're still working hard with life insurance. However, with life insurance, there's also the fulfilling part of you're going to leave money behind to their kids and their future kids and generations. So that felt more fulfilling than selling a home to a family.
Yeah.
I'd rather be able to provide and be the reason they never have to move out of their home. God forbid that breadwinner can't pay the house anymore.
Yeah. And if you want to find any videos of Eureka showing houses, they are available on YouTube and her Instagram page, because I've watched them. It's like a lot of people want to get into real estate, invest in real estate, and all the people that I know that are super successful that do real estate, they didn't start off doing that. Like real estate investing is what you do after you build a really nice business and you have extra income and you need tax write-offs. And people just think it's hot and try to shortcut the whole situation. That's why a lot of people fail. And as we were in the previous business, when we first started, you got licensed in December 2022.
Three.
No,
you're
December
right.
2022.
22.
I got licensed in August 2022. And we both were in the same company, but running the business a little differently. So for me, it was a full year. For you, it was like 9 months, but whatever. Our first year in the industry, we both made $50,000. We hit 50K the same week, didn't we? Right? We hit 50,000 the same week. So she did it a little faster than I did.
We did the marketing director, which was
right. And we got the
top.
watch at the same time.
Yeah.
And then
But you were in it a little bit longer. I came in a little bit after you, and then we met.
Yeah.
At that time.
But we were doing it differently. So like, if that's why just like the first year, since year 2 and 3, we've been rocking and rolling. But like year one was it was different. So you guys sold universal life, traditional universal life most of the time, and you would go in person to people's homes and do kitchen table presentations like back in the day, right?
Right.
We sold a lot of indexed universal life policies, and we did all Zoom, and we were more focused on production. And I think that's because our mentors, your mentor was the top recruiter in the company. My mentor was the top producer in the company. So you had a more recruiting mindset than I did. We both recruited like 200 people into I recruited 200 people into the company, but only had like 10 people doing anything. And you recruited, I don't know how many, but you had a whole team of like 20, 25 people showing up, right? Right. So like, as we evolved, just for the people that are listening, like no matter what, you made 50, 60 grand your first year in real estate. We made 50, 60 grand first year in life insurance. I think that that's something to be expected, right? Like, of course, shoot for the stars and, make $1 million your first year is like a good target. But like, we both are good at sales. We're both smart. We're both good at business. We're both good at talking to people. We're not shy. We're extroverted people. And we both still only made 50 grand in first year in two separate industries, right? So like, that's just an expectation.
Yes. Well, let's take it back to the industry you were in before. Tell us about that.
Originally, I was in the restaurant business. My dad has some Philly cheesesteak spots. And so I was running Philly cheesesteak spots forever. Like, that's what I wanted to do my whole life growing up. And then then everything changed in my life. You can watch other videos for more details, but ended up selling my stores, starting over again, moving back to Miami. And after owning 2 Philly cheesesteak restaurants, like I was working 120 hours a week. We were open till 3:00 in the morning. Like, it was really hard. And it's hard having $10 an hour employees where and some of them have been doing it longer than I've been alive. And it's like, you can't get them to be motivated or inspired. Like, I couldn't figure it out. But we were still doing $1 million in sales combined, but God had other plans for me. So I ended up coming down to Miami, and I was in the loan business. And my first year I made $139,000. Second year made $569,000. But I just didn't love it. Like, I was making a lot of money living the Miami lifestyle. Like, we were going on boats on the weekend and going out, and I was partying and going to like Barseco next to our house in Brickell. Like, I was doing that a lot. But it wasn't what I wanted to do. I didn't like telling people like, you have to take my money. Where are you going to get the money elsewhere? And I was selling like anywhere from 1 month to 24-month loans, and anywhere from 12% to 50% interest. That's called merchant cash advances. And that was the industry I was in. It was just the first job that I applied for, that I got interviewed for. And then I went to our coach, Jeffrey Combs' event 3 years ago, July 2022, and met John Mason, who was the guy that ended up mentoring me in the beginning of the insurance industry. And he was like, hey, I took him out to lunch, and we went out to lunch and we talked about like what he was doing. And I was just like super blown away by like that life insurance. You can put cash into it. And like, I didn't know anything about that. And I was like, yeah, I'll do it. So I wanted to get my license, but I didn't actually follow through until I had something happen at the loan business where I got into a situation, like an argument with one of the guys there. And I was like, I'm out of here. It was like one of those like movie things, like took my chair and pushed it in the meeting. I was like, I'm leaving. And I left. And then I called Mason right after. And I was like, hey, what do I got to do? And it was a Friday. It was a Friday. And he was like, go get your license. So I took my license by Monday. Then I called him Monday. I'm like, I passed. And he's like, cool. Well, we're having our event in Vegas now. So how about you come to Vegas tomorrow? I was like, I can't leave tomorrow. So I ended up being a day late for the event. And then that was a Thursday I got there. By Saturday, I was at the Hakkasan, like the club. They rented it out for their VIP. And I was like at a table with the top leaders. And then Patrick Bet-David walks in. And I was like, wow. And I just knew, I was talking directly to Patrick, and he said, what did you think of the event? And I was like, well, I was like dead in his eyes and said, I just know I'm in the right place at the right time with the right people. And that's what started me off on the journey. I recruited 18 people my first month, made 5 grand my first month, and then made like pretty much 5 to 10 grand a month every month after that. Didn't really crack 10 grand until like almost the end of my first year. And I've been selling and running personal development and stuff forever at that point.
Yes. Yeah. And so why do you think selling life insurance, or most people think selling life insurance can be scam or sleazy?
Scam? I don't know. I feel like I don't know because we're young, but I feel like back in the day, life insurance was something where like you had to go door to door. Like I think like you used to go door to door and sell life insurance, and that was just like something that you did, and it was all like selling term policies at the time. And so like the challenge with term policies are 98% of them expire. And I also think that people throw life insurance in with just like all insurance, because like property and casualty insurance, especially right now, especially in Florida, especially after the last couple hurricanes and stuff, like there are major challenges with the insurance industry, and property and casualty puts like all these fine print into it, and it has major challenges where people like don't trust it. But I don't really know. I can't. I never had that thought. Like, what could be sleazy about setting people up for generational wealth?
Yeah.
I think it's sleazy that Wall Street tells you that you should go buy term and invest a difference, and go invest a difference in the stock market, and then every financial advisor sells this mountain of accumulation, and then at 65 you retire and you get distributions and Social Security, and then by the time you die you're broke. Like, that is sleazy to me.
Yeah.
I just never had, and we're experiencing it with our own families. Like, that's just not how you're supposed to do it. Like, it is so messed up that that's what we learn to do with our money. And if you could imagine that it takes like 2 generations for the whole infinite banking thing, generational wealth thing to actually take place, imagine if just the motive of all of it changed, and like the typical person was all putting, instead of taking their 3% putting it into their 401k, taking 3% putting it into a life insurance policy. Within 2 generations, everybody would have trusts and generational wealth, and you could cut out financing from all these other places. But the reason they don't do that is because financing has interest, and interest is how bankers make money, and bankers run the world. And so it's a challenge to be able to get away from that. But it's just an interesting situation that like they've purposely convinced us that sleaziness is what is tax free and guaranteed, which is like the least sleazy thing in the world to me. So I never had that thought. But people have a sour taste in their mouth, and they also have a short-term thinking mindset. So we've been also duped into thinking, and whether like Drake is planted by the agenda or not, but like he literally brought this whole YOLO thing out into the world. And so now everybody's like, oh, you only live once, and I'm gonna live rich and die broke and da 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 da. Like, I think that's fucked up. And so I just want to create generational wealth. So I think that's what most people do wrong, is they think short term, they're trying to get high returns, and they're just playing the wrong game. And of course I'm biased, but like I'm only biased because this is what I do. And I wouldn't do it if I didn't believe like this is the way. I genuinely believe that if everyone did infinite banking, the whole world would change within 100 years.
Yes, 100%. Now let's take it back a little bit again on how and why did we decide to start our own business?
Yeah, because this video is about how we did $1 million, right? So sorry, I went on off a little rant. I was listening to Billy Graham this morning and reading his book, so I was just feeling evangelical about infinite banking. But
we were at a previous company.
We were each making 50 grand, and then we just didn't feel. I remember you walked out of a meeting when we were in Vegas, and you were like, it just wasn't the right energy.
Yeah.
And so we left.
Culture shifted.
Yeah, the culture was being weird.
It was a lot of force.
Yeah. And so we left, and we went to dinner, and the next day one of my mentors died. And I remember we were crying, and I'll never forget this too, just like God works in calculated ways, is like the after party for the event was at a club in Vegas called Club Ego. And I was like, I'm no way going to a club called Club Ego. Like, I'm way too conscious for that. And then we went to dinner at the Eiffel Tower restaurant in Vegas instead. And I still have I still keep this to this day, actually. Boom. You know, I still keep this. Do you know this?
Yeah.
This is the receipt. I asked our waiter that I got his number for a receipt paper and a pen. And I pitched you on us leaving the other company and starting our own. And I just wrote A and B. I didn't write the names.
Yeah, you wrote company A and company B, the pros and cons.
And I wrote it all down on a T-chart because at the time I tried to recruit this kid and he was like, my dad already owns a firm and he was super successful. And like, they were just these successful Israeli dudes. And I was like, I want to learn from them. And we weren't sure what to do. And I remember I fasted for 10 days and I didn't eat until I was with them. And I knew I wanted to join their team. And like, shout out to them because I really, like, Gil, Dustin, and Marshall opened up our minds to a whole nother way of thinking. And otherwise, we would have still been stuck in like the network marketing world of like PHP, AIL, FFL.
Right. We didn't know any better.
Call them out, you know, but we didn't know anything different. And when we went to the other side, like, these guys all came from MetLife. They ran the most successful MetLife office. And like, they taught us more the career agent side of things, which was more corporate. And then like, as we evolved, so our second year, let's just first year PHP, network marketing style, we're both making 50 grand. Second year, we're like, F that, we're going to go join these guys. So we left and joined another company, which we're still in the process of leaving, but we have our own agency underneath of them. And we changed from being like part-time network marketing, do it when you want, to full-time in the office. And that was a really great change. And we started recruiting October 2023. So it's like almost our third year and we're wrapping up our second year of like this phase of the journey. And it was really good because they taught us how to like communicate to high level people. They also taught us stuff that we didn't do at the other company, like disability insurance, long-term care. Like, even though I have never sold long-term care and I've only done like 10 disability insurance policies ever, but like, it still opened up our mind to what was out there. And they also had a call with us once a week where we were like having a mentorship call. And I think that was really good for our company. So like, if you're listening and you're like, how did they evolve? So like, just think of year one is network marketing style. We're both producing, we're both recruiting, we're both driving people to an office, and we're both selling like $50 to $250 a month policies through Universal Life. Then we leave and we learn about whole life. And I read Becoming Your Own Banker at that same time by Nelson Nash. And I was like, this is all we should do. Actually, Margarito is the one that found the the practitioner program.
But somebody else at the company we're still at now introduced you to becoming your own banker.
Yeah, the head of the VP of sales at One America Financial, Brent Gritton. Shout out to Brent.
We're going into this whole other world outside of the network marketing style.
Yeah.
And we met somebody that introduced us into the actual true infinite banking concept. And
then I was in a freeze state for like a month. Remember, like September, we didn't know what to do. Or like end of August, September. And so I just read I ordered like 10 books and watched a million YouTube videos. Like, I have vivid memories of like watching videos on our balcony of like pro IUL whole life sucks videos and pro whole life universal life sucks videos. And then I found this dude, Bobby Samuelson, who left the insurance industry and works for the National Association of Insurance Commissioners that like manages the insurance industry. And when I say left the insurance industry, he left like being a producer and being in one of the carriers. And he had a very like third party perspective, non-subjective, totally objective opinion. And that gave me a lot of understanding. And then reading Nelson Nash's book and then reading Elon Moaz's book Lapsed, like all these things started compounding. I was like, all right, I gotta call clients. And so in the beginning, we were calling clients and moving their policies over from
because we were selling
Universal Life to Whole Life. And like, I literally had to apologize to people and just like blame my own ignorance. And If you're open to it, would love to switch over. And some people did and some people didn't, and that's cool. But we at least saved some of them. And then and we started building a team, like a real team. So first it was a network marketing team where people only came in on Tuesdays and Saturdays, like you said.
Part-time.
And then it was like, now we have an office with like, depending on the day, 3 to 10 people, right?
Yes.
In the
so
beginning.
we took like the work from home style part-time to an actual full-time in the office because we know that's how people are going to be productive.
Right.
Like me as a real estate agent, same thing, work on your own time, but I wasn't as productive.
Yeah.
And now we give agents that are new to the industry everything they need to get off the ground,
Right.
including the roadmap that we hit to 7 figures.
Correct.
And the office culture, the vibe, Monday through Friday, it's not corporate, you're not clocking in, but you're here to be able to be around other like-minded people to push you and motivate you and inspire you to be able to reach your personal, professional, financial goals.
Yeah, our whole second year was more like creating systems because the new company had a lot of new ideas and they opened up our mind, but there was no systems, no duplication, no training, nothing.
So
we had
Infinite
to build all that
from ground zero.
Yeah.
When we first started in 2023, you and I were like, what do we even do? What's
Yeah.
our role?
True.
And then we realized, okay, we need to focus on selling, bringing in people, but we had to build. We didn't have a playbook. We didn't have training systems. We didn't have a CRM.
Yeah.
We were just figuring it out as we go.
I mean, we literally took the presentation from the old company and just took our logo and put it on it. Like we literally just did exactly what we did there and just switched. But then we realized when we were talking to high level people, like I can't do we called that presentation the hustle. Like I can't do this basic presentation to high level people.
It's 1 page. It's not enough information.
Yeah.
So
and it wasn't enough. So then we started evolving, and then we got started with Cardone University, and then we went to the real estate summit, and that is, I remember like writing notes in the notebook and like giving them to you. Like that's when we have to combine life insurance and real estate. Like what the heck? Like why is that not what we're doing? And then I needed to learn about it, and we were learning about different stuff, and like all last year, our year 2 of the industry was all creating systems, creating processes, figuring out our niche, figuring out what we want to do, building a team, producing so we could pay the bills, and doing all of that at the same time.
Mhm.
And working on us together. Because in the beginning it was tough. You were selling, I was selling, then you were just recruiting but not selling, and then I was getting frustrated because I was doing the selling and I thought I was holding you back, and there was all this like relationship stuff that we had to go through too. And I feel like it took about a year for us to like really settle down in our roles.
Learning a new product.
Yeah.
New business together as a couple.
New relationship.
Yeah, new relationship.
I mean, we got engaged within 6 months.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, back to how to hit 7 figures within 3 years in the industry, and how we did it was year 1, we're just building, recruiting.
Yeah.
And we don't recruit as we used to, like a network marketing style.
No.
Why do we recruit different now?
We recruit different now because we're looking for only a certain amount of people. I used to give this analogy, and this is a good one, is like think of high school football versus the pros. Like high school football, anyone can sign up for the team. Only the top people are going to play, but like there's a lot of people that stand on the sidelines. I was one of them for the first couple years of high school. I just sat on the sidelines and was basically a cheerleader for the football team myself, right? But anybody can join. That's network. That's a lot of the network marketing. And they might not say it's network marketing, but all of these companies that are out there that are part-time, lifetime, laptop lifestyle companies
Virtual.
that market that all virtual, all online. Like that's one category of business. And then that was what we did year 1. So like if you've been there for 1 or 2 or 3 years, like that's cool. But literally as soon as we went to full time and started the pro methodology, which is like, hey, you have to want to do this.
Full-time.
You have to want to work hard. You have to want to be part of our culture. I am definitely not the easiest person to work with every single day as a leader. Like I expect a lot because I do a lot, and I want people to be productive. I want the world to be a more productive place. And I think that people doing multiple things part-time means they're not giving their all to something. And I believe that the only way to really be successful is to give your all to something.
Right.
So we switched to that in year 2. And that was something to learn how to develop. And like, I think we lost our our best first person, like the best person first that we had. She left because I don't think we had our shit together yet. And she was making money, but we didn't have our culture down. So I think that was something, but that's going to happen no matter what.
Yeah, like the people that get us to 1 million are most likely not going to be the same people that get us to 5, 10 million. So it's part of the process and us learning as leaders.
Yeah. And then year 3 is when it all like came in. Like, remember last summer, like a year ago now, we did not have the CRM. We did not have a dialer. We did not have leads. It wasn't until a couple people came in that were good people, but didn't have warm markets, that we started like looking into how do we get lead lists from like Zoom Info? How do we have a dialer system so people can call more without like the CRM? Then we had the CRM, but not a dialer. And then because of Cardone, we started going to all of his stuff and started modeling a lot of the stuff they do. Because when you walk into Cardone's office, I mean, every single one of them is driven. Every one of them wants to be there. Every one of them looks sharp. Every one of them speaks sharp. And like, it's like the New England Patriots of sales. That's what we've worked on the last year.
Right. That's what we're building now, that what makes us different.
Yeah.
Right. So we're taking the life insurance industry, what we learned with the network marketing style, combining it with Cardone's style, who is full-time calling in the office, high energy, motivated, inspired to want to do this full-time and master this, right? Not trying to do so many things at once.
And really just, like I believe that the thing that really made us $1 million is like is like shifting our focus from
all life insurance products,
insurance and all people.
Yes.
Yeah, to like, we do high net worth policies for high net worth people. Like our average policy went from $200 a month to $500 a month to $1,000 a month to $2,000 a month to $3,000 a month, and it'll be $4,000 a month this month. Our average policy.
Mm-hmm.
And so like leveling up who we're talking to and doing all of the things we just said all at the same time helped us to make $1 million, because it wasn't until our 3rd year that we started making 6 figures a month. Our 2nd year, we were making like 20 grand a month-ish.
$500,000.
Yeah, we were making like half, like 20, 30 grand a month in commissions and 20, 30 grand a month in overrides, and 50-ish to, somewhere between 30 and 80 grand a month in total income. And then October 2024, we made $175,000.
Yeah. And I think the 3 main key things for me that helped us reach this level where we're at now to 7 figures is, number 1, focusing on high premiums monthly, because you're going to do the same amount of work closing a $50, $100 a month policy than you're going to do for $1,000, $2,000 a month. And sometimes these clients may be easier because they have the money to go ahead and go for it, right? Compared to somebody who's kind of like, I don't know if I want to spend 50 or invest $50, $100 a month into this. Compared to somebody who's like, oh, $2 grand, $3 grand, let's do it.
Yeah.
Right? That's one thing. And 2 is having a system in place that's going to help you full-time, Monday through Friday, help you with the training and the resources. And 3, the right mentors who know what they're doing. We have our Infinite Banking Practitioner certification. There's other Infinite Banking practitioners in this office. That's what makes us different as well. Those are 3 key things for me that has helped us reach this level. So what about for you? 3 main
things. 1 is commitment to just being great at this thing. Like I just want to be the best insurance person. Like I want to be the best Infinite Banking practitioner. I want everyone to think of it when they think of Infinite Banking, when they think of me. Right? Like I want that to be a thing, and I want to bring that in, like commitment to making Infinite Banking a legit thing and being great. Number 2 is high quality people that we're surrounding ourselves with, both in the business and outside the business, like at networking events, and as well as our team, and as well as like, we don't really have any friends, and people we hang out with, which is again, not many people. But, and then 3rd would be high quality systems and what we're doing. Like I've always been somebody that models pieces. Like when I was doing the restaurants, I used to go sit in McDonald's and Panera and Chipotle and like take notes on everything that they were doing. I was like, how can I create the growth of McDonald's, but I don't want to be fast food, right? So like, how can I take that part, the systems of McDonald's, with the feel of Panera, because Panera is very homey. Like you feel at home at Panera, and then but the quickness and efficiency and profit of Chipotle. And then the same thing we're doing now. Like I don't even, when we were in our honeymoon, she wasn't feeling good. She was sick, and I like had a lot of time to like sit on the balcony or the porch or overwater bungalow and read. And I read Blue Ocean Strategy again. And I feel like we're taking the bits and pieces. Like I want the mission driven of PHP with the high level people, the agents and advisors wise as the career agent process, but then also being able to talk to infinite banking, mostly infinite banking. So like that's what we combine.
Yeah.
And then so in 3 years, that's what it came down to. But now it's the first time, like, and this is like as we're ending out our 3rd year in the business, that like we go to a Cardone event where like we have most of this stuff. It might not be the most efficient part, but like we check the boxes, and then next year is going to be all like ironing it out and making it more professional. It's okay for shit to be all over the place when you're under $10 million in revenue. Yeah.
Yes, I agree. And so somebody who is looking to possibly look into life insurance, do they have to have experience? What do we look for in somebody to bring on to the team?
I've always only looked for the 2 things when I hire people, whether here or at Lee's Hoagie House, is I want you to be coachable and willing to learn. That's all that I care about, because I can teach you how to do that, but you have to be coachable, like to where you don't take things personally if we're given feedback. And then 2 is willing to learn, and willing to learn has a broad scale, because I think a lot of people think that they're willing to learn, but they're not more willing to learn than go out. They're not more willing to learn than to change their daily habits. So you got to be willing to change. That's really what willingness is key to. And then it helps a lot if you have a warm market, which is family and friends that support you. Now, when I started, I just got canceled on social media and I got a new phone number with 200 people. I didn't have a lot of people that supported me, but still made it happen. Or a previous business or book of business, like you had your real estate, I had my loan clients, like some people that you can talk to that you've done business with before, and some sales experience. It definitely helps. I mean, it's hard when we have some young people, like they're gonna do good, but it definitely the takeoff for a fresh out of college person with no sales experience is about a year, is what we're learning, 6 months to a year. And then the takeoff for an already seasoned agent that understands life insurance, you don't have to teach what term and permanent is. Like Taylor's gonna make $100,000 in his first 6 weeks. Yeah, like we did that too. Like, so.
Yeah, we just had our first agent close this big deal.
Yeah.
And I think that's the record-breaking one. And it's going to put about $100,000 in his pocket, and has only been with us
since June 9th. I looked at it this morning.
June. However, he does have experience. He's been in the industry, and he decided to partner up with us, and that helped him jump into 6 figures within 6 weeks.
Yeah.
So.
And so if you're like, to sum it all up, if I can, to make $1 million in 3 years, I believe that the system, and I believe because this is my experience, is that first year, focus on personal production, try a bunch of things, talk to everyone, don't be afraid, get out there and go be a bowling ball in your market. Go talk to every single person you know about what you do. Year 2 is start like professionalizing yourself. You should always be professional, but like take it to the next level. How can you do more better? What can I do? I started wearing 3-piece suits in my 2nd year, started looking nicer in 2nd year, started being more professional, started hanging out with better people. Like I wasn't just all about making money. And then 3, we built a team. And then 3 is like developing leaders on your team that can help you duplicate further from there.
Yes.
Those are the 3 things that we've done. And throughout the whole process, being coachable, willing to learn, and committed to being successful, so that people think of you, and you think of you as the person that they actually should talk to.
Right. I heard this today. Be the brand people will remember.
There you go.
And that's how we want to be. So I think, babe, we should do a part 2 with this series, like a
Okay.
part 1 and part 2, because there's more questions that can go align with this. But we'll end it at, if you live in Miami and you're a sales professional and you would like to look into the life insurance industry, right? Or are currently in the life insurance industry with another company, but could potentially wonder what the other side looks like. Maybe starting off at higher commissions, different carriers that do infinite banking or support the infinite banking concept. What would you tell them? Somebody who's potentially looking.
Call me.
Call me.
Call me, DM me, reach out to me. Like, I'm looking for people that we are looking for people that want to grind with us. Like, we want to grow something really, really big, and we want to go arm in arm into the fire with other people that are down.
Yes, and we are on a big mission. We're going to make an impact. It's not going to be easy, but we're looking for the right people that want to help us get to 25 million, 100 million within the next 5 years. So if that's you, reach out to us, connect to us, subscribe, and we're here. Thank you
Cool.
for tuning in.
Thank you very much.